Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today we're going to talk about Cardano and my updated end of the year predictions for this cryptocurrency. Now, Cardano has a small but very dedicated community. It's larger than most crypto communities, but compared to like Bitcoin or XRP, it's fairly small. But it's very dedicated and they're quite fanatical about Cardano. They think it's the best thing since sliced bread. I don't quite think that. I'm a little worried about Cardano because it's delayed a couple times or several times really, but I still do believe that they're going to get Shelly and Gongguan out by the end of the year. If they don't, then I hope Charles's shoe tastes good because he's going to be eating it if he doesn't come out by the end of this year. So I'm basing my predictions around that Shelly will come out in Q4. Gongguan, which is their smart contract platform, will actually come out Q1 of next year. So there's like one release after other. So after people sell the news from the first one, there's still hype from Gongguan. So that actually might continue. If you don't think Shelly or Gongguan's going to come out on time this time, then just disregard this because the price will be a lot lower if those two don't come out. But I'm going to say that those two actually do come out. Now, a lot of the price prediction will be based on the rest of the market too. Yes, I know there's MOUs with several countries or African countries, but the thing with that is MOUs don't necessarily translate into price increases because MOUs are basically opportunities to identify that could actually benefit both parties in the future. There's nothing really set in stone with an MOU. And plus, the decentralized platform isn't even out yet, so it's a little early to talk about that. So what we need to do is, after Shelly comes out, we'll have to see how many projects come on. Now, a lot of people think it's going to immediately take over Enterprise Ethereum. I highly doubt that's actually going to happen. Ethereum has a very dedicated business alliance, and there's a lot of products that are actually using Ethereum as their base blockchain. So if it does take over Ethereum, it's going to take a long time to take over Ethereum. So based on that, I still do think, because I do think Shelly is going to come out Q4 and Gongguan maybe Q1, Q2 next year, it still has a lot of opportunity. Now, we're only projecting on December 31st, 2019. Okay, we're not projecting into January of next year or February of next year, so cut off at the end of the year because this is an end of the year prediction. End of the year is not January 31st, 2020, it's December 31st, 2019. So we're going to predict that the price then. So the thing is, I think it's going to be around 17 to 18 cents around the end of the year, based on the fact that I do think Shelly is going to come out. And there's another factor to this. I also base it on the fact that I think Bitcoin is going to be significantly higher by the end of this year than it is right now. I do think Bitcoin is going to retrace first, and we're seeing a step in that direction. I do believe the gap is going to be filled around 8,500 to 8,000 or something like that. We will consolidate in the upper 7,000s hopefully, or the lower 8,000s, and we'll consolidate in that range, and then Bitcoin will start to go slowly, incrementally up from there. That's just my guess for how Bitcoin will actually perform in the next quarter and a half. September is the last month of Q3, and we know that the Bitcoin halving is in May of 2020. Now, if you look at the Litecoin halving, Litecoin prices started to go up sometime in March, I believe, and that was about 5 months before the Litecoin halving. Actually, maybe like 5 or 6 months before the Litecoin halving, and I think the effect will be similar for Bitcoin, where we'll have a price increase about 5-6 months before the Bitcoin halving, and that actually places us at end of November, start of December, to where Bitcoin price will slowly go up fairly incrementally. Up until April of next year or so, April, May of next year. I think it'll actually be April because there'll be like an evening out point before the halving. So if that's true, prices will only start to go up in December and it won't reach an apex, or it'll start to go up in late November and it won't reach an apex in December. So December, I do expect the price to perhaps be $16,000, $17,000 hopefully for Bitcoin. And at that point, some of the alts should have started lifting up. Plus, the bombshell of Shelly actually launching in December. Hopefully it launches. Like I said, if it doesn't launch, this whole prediction is like trash and it's not going to work. That the Bitcoin rising with Shelly launching will give it a lot of momentum. And at that point, like I think Cardano's low point for price will be around 4 cents. And so if you buy in at 4 cents right now, and both those things happen, whereas Bitcoin really starts increasing in November, December of 2019, and Shelly actually launches in November, December. If Charles eats his shoe, then this prediction is no good, like I said. So if both of those things happen, they will definitely help each other, and they'll leverage each other to pump it up even more. So I don't think 17 or 18 cents is really out of the question by December 31st. Now, if Bitcoin keeps rising after December 31st, it goes to a new all-time high of 30, 40,000, then I do believe if Shelly and Gongguan both launch, I do believe Cardano can rise to over $1, maybe even over $2 under those certain circumstances. But Bitcoin has to break a new all-time high by a fair amount, and Shelly and Gongguan both have to come out for Cardano. Do I have Cardano right now? Yes, I actually do have ADA right now. I have about $30, $40 worth of Cardano. I'm probably going to buy a little more before the end of the year because I do believe Cardano's at a pretty good price right now. I probably plan to buy like $100 worth of Cardano myself with the leftover Bitcoin I have, because although I'm not like super crazy about Cardano myself, and I'm not really holding it for a long term. I do believe there's short term to mid term profits to be made off Cardano, because I do think it'll rise above 10 cents, at least because of Shelly launch and because of Bitcoin rising. So Cardano, I think, looks like a decently good, pretty good investment for the short to mid term, depending what your time frame is. For the next 4 months or 5 months, I would say I would definitely look at Cardano. And my prediction for the end of the year is probably 17 to 18 cents. I know that's not going to be high enough for the Cardano faithful, and it's going to be too high for people who just don't like Charles at all. But I think that's a pretty good middle ground. I don't expect Cardano to completely moon by the end of this year, mainly because I don't think Bitcoin will actually be ready to overtake an all-time high by the end of this year. I think that will actually happen early on next year, and I think that's when I expect, like, toward the end of Q1, that's when I really expect Cardano to explode, pending on the fact that Shelly and Gongguan both get launched on time. So that's my prediction for Cardano. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you, and have a nice day.